So just like most people in 2018 and 2017, I was playing Fortnite every day for about like what 6 7 hours of my life every single day until for the past 3 years that the game was out. And and I didn't get bored. I played the game for 3 years, all day, every day, and I never got bored for 3 years, and that's crazy to me. But as everything is, it gets boring, and I just wanted to talk about how like Fortnite got really, really boring to me, and how and why I just stopped playing, even though I think I was pretty decent at the game, and I had just a little bit of talent. The first thing I wanted to talk about, and like the first dip in my entertainment with Fortnite, was season 10. Season 10 brought in the mechs. Everybody hated it. I feel like that was like one of the most hated things to ever be brought into Fortnite to this day still. Even though I'm not really up to date into Fortnite because I haven't really like paid attention to Fortnite for the past like eight months. I just don't care about that game anymore. It's really boring to me. I don't find it entertaining, and like it just doesn't keep my attention like it used to. The mechs is when it started to really, really, really go downhill for me, or just the first big dip for me. And it just felt like Epic did not give a fuck about whether it was broken or not, because it took them months to fix and months to just even nerf it. Or they didn't even nerf it, they completely got rid of it after just weeks and weeks. Like, and I didn't really find it a problem, but in solos you could just go and out mechanic them, as long as you had a couple mats. If you're off spawn, you're dead, it doesn't matter. But as long as you had a little bit of mats, you could go up to them and get close to them. You go in, self-destruct it. It wasn't that bad, and then after they jump out, then you just out mechanic them, kill them. It wasn't that bad. Anybody who got the max off spawn, they weren't really that good. The problem is with duos and duos and squads, and like when you're playing with your friends, that was the most painful time in the world. It was so trash to play with people at that time because all people did was go in mechs. You can't go in the mech and self-destruct it like you can in solos. You literally have to like either destroy the mech, which was very hard for some reason because the mech could just destroy all your builds immediately. For some reason they could jump up, crash all your builds, take like 50 shield, and it kills you super fast, and it just was not a fun time. And nobody wants to sit in solos all day. It's not the funnest thing in the world. You're talking to yourself. And then that was the first part. I didn't like mechs. To me were bad, but it wasn't as bad as when they added bots to the game. When they added bots to the game, it made the game feel so like when you got a win, it felt like you achieved something. When you got a lot of kills, it kind of felt like you achieved something. Eventually it kind of dimmed off after you did it so many times, but it felt like getting a 20, getting a 30 wasn't hard until they added bots. When they added bots, it was like I could drop a 20 bomb every game. Went into solo squads, there'd be half the teams were bots. You land somewhere hot, then you get 20 kills guaranteed. In solos, that's where 20 kills was actually pretty hard. And I don't really know how many people got 30s or 40s. I didn't really pay attention like that. I just played the game a lot more. And like getting 20s was a walk in the park, and it was just absurdly easy, and it was just unfulfilling, and it made you just not want to play it anymore because it's just how insane the amount of bots in the lobbies were. And so that's when everybody started going into creative and being crackheads and little gremlins in their corner like me, and just sat in creative every day, playing against your friends, playing zone wars, doing wagers, just doing all that little stuff. And it's a really repetitive cycle of doing the same thing every day, and eventually you get so good at it, it gets kind of boring. Unless, if you're making money, it doesn't really feel that bad, but like just doing that every day, playing with your friends, not really doing anything, it just gets really, really boring eventually, and it just feels like you're just doing it just to do it. And that's how I felt. I just felt like I was doing it just to do it because I was good at the game. eventually it was just really boring, and I still played it, but it was just really boring. Now, to add on to the bots, and when bots came out, then came this fat, large ass map. This map, like, there was already no movement to get around the map like that. I think jump pads were removed. I don't know, don't quote me on that, I don't remember. But getting around the map was so unbelievably boring and bad. Like, in the original map, you had ATVs and stuff. You could fly around ATVs. That was so fun. Flying around in ATVs is so fun. It was so good. But then the best way to move was if you landed at that shark place and got either the grappler or you used a boat. The map was just too big. For a 100-player battle royale with, to be honest, it wasn't really even 100 players. It was like 40, 60 bots. You land at a place. By the time you clear out the place, there's like 20 people left in the first or second zone after you clear it out, and it just made that made the game into a walk night. The walking simulator. Like, as soon as you get out of spawn, you kill like 4 people. There's like 20 people left with this fat ass zone, and all you're doing is walking around, running around, just trying to find people, and that is absurdly boring. No one wants to watch that. No one wants to play that. No one wants to do anything in that. So it just made even more people go into creative, and it made the game even more boring. And it just eventually went. I played creative so much to the point where it just got boring. Even arenas, even when I played arenas where there's actually people in it, what's the point of playing arenas? Like, you play arenas, you get the champions, you get the champs, you get to play tourneys. That's it. And like, I'm sure people have fun, and people still have fun, but for me, that was the last straw, and I just stopped playing. And I find Apex more fun. Apex, I feel like, takes a lot more skill. I feel like the movement in Apex is way better. And even in Warzone, I like the Warzone movement way better in that one as well.
Down.
I'm flashing.
5 mid window.
Jet has no dash.
Alright, well.
Pushing B, pushing B.
3 on second.
Spike down mid.
2 on mid. Good spike.
Spike B.
Cypher was also on B.
That's
I saw him go A-link.
He's in this.
Nice.
The last 2
You
are
have
C.
spike.
They're kind of C long.
Garage.
Enemy remaining.
I think I heard him garage.
Thirty seconds left. You will barely worth the effort.
That goes there. Camera taken out. Cage triggered. Enemy down.
One enemy remaining.
Window.
Flawless.
GG.
Defenders win.